Okay, in case it's unclear what they're asking here, they're basically trying to suggest that if you have a horizontal line, why is the distance formula similar to the the ruler postulate? Okay, and essentially it looks like this. If you have, let's say, the distance formula here, square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. And you have these coordinates for a and b. You've got negative 7 comma 1 and 7 comma 1. Okay? Then when you plug those numbers into the distance formula, and by the way, let me just label them as, this could be point number 1, so that's x1 and y1, x2 and y2, yeah? And then when I write the formula out and I put parentheses anywhere there's going to be variables, I have to put brackets there. Okay, and I substitute the numbers in. I say x2 is 7 minus x1, which is negative 7. Be careful there, it's not 0. And y2 is 1. Oh, and I put plus, I should say minus. I'm sorry that you probably saw that and were like, why is it plus? My mistake. Just thinking too quick. Minus y1, which is 1. Okay? So now in simplifying this, what we essentially get is 14 squared plus 0 squared, because they have the exact same y coordinate. So when you subtract one y coordinate from the other, you're basically saying what is the amount of vertical change, and there is no vertical change. We're right along the number lines, okay? So when you take some number and you, if you take some number and you square it, and then you square root it, you're going to get back to that number, right? So, or essentially the absolute value of that number, if we're always taking the principal square root, meaning we say, let's see, 14 times 14 is at 196, plus 0 is essentially just the square root of 196, which we know to be 14. Now, even if we had reversed the order of these and we got negative 14 in here, right? When you square negative 14, you get 196, and when you square root 196 and take the principal square root, meaning the positive of it, you get 14. So essentially, doing this, a minus b, and then taking the absolute value is like saying 7 minus negative 7, and taking the absolute value, which is 14. Okay, this formula right here for the ruler postulate is the same as the distance formula if you didn't change either the horizontal or the vertical, and you just used for A and B the values that did change, the coordinates that did change. In this case, the x coordinates change, right? Because then all you're doing is you're taking the difference, squaring it, and then square rooting it, which you're always going to get the positive answer or the absolute value of whatever the difference of those two changing coordinates are. And the other one doesn't affect it because they're 0, since it doesn't change up and down at all. And that's why the ruler postulate and the distance formula are very closely related, because the distance formula with 0 change in one direction essentially will result in just the difference between the two changing coordinates taken as an absolute value.